I'm standing outside Gladstone's library in Harden, Wales. I've come here because it's one of the great research centers in the world for the study of theology and politics, and because for the last year and a half I've been writing about religion and politics weekly at patheos.com and in a new book just released by Patheos called Faithful Citizenship. I've come here particularly to do a short series of videos about the different ways in which our politics is so decidedly un-Christian in these times. And I've come here because it's a particularly symbolic place to wrestle with these questions of how we assimilate our faith and our political life. William Gladstone was 4 times the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, one of the great statespeople in the history of Britain. But he is also known as a theologian. In fact, on the cornerstone just behind me, it talks about how he was as recognized as a theologian as he was as a statesman, which is quite a claim when you think about his importance to Britain as a statesman. The important thing about his theology was very simply this: everything that he did was informed by his religious thought. The time that he spent reading the Bible, reading the Church Fathers, thinking about how his faith ought to inform his actions, led him to do such things as to champion human rights. One of the first people in the history of political life to make that an issue. The education of everyone, regardless of their income or status. And the home rule of Ireland, so that they could have the freedom to govern themselves. All of these things were things that grew out of his own understanding of what God was calling him to do as a legislator and as a leader, not just the desires of his own heart. As we talk about these elements of un-Christian politics, what I want us to recognize over and over again is that often we are simply falling into a secular trap where we are valuing the things that the society values and calling them in some way religious. By going back to some of our earlier elements of religion, by thinking about Scripture and about the Christian tradition, my hope is that we'll be able to re-examine our lives and our political beliefs and to draw them more closely in line to the things that we're called to do by our faith, so that we will no longer be un-Christian in our politics, but faithful in our citizenship.